We all love Nora En Pure, but what makes her tracks sound so great? Along with being the owner of the label Purified, Nora En Pure is one of the most well-known faces of melodic and progressive house because of how organic and how nice her songs are. And in today's videos, you're gonna learn the top 5 things that makes her songs so great so that you can apply these concepts and these techniques to your own songs as well. But before we begin, let me know over here in the comment section which one is your favorite song from Nora En Pure. But let's get down to the video and let's get down to Ableton. Let's go. The first thing that I love about Nora En Pure is her relationship with pianos. They are literally everywhere in Nora En Pure's tracks. If you listen to Nora's Spotify's top 10, you're gonna see that all the songs in there have pianos, but they come in different forms and different purposes along the songs. If you listen, for example, to Come With Me, which is one of the most famous songs from Nora En Pure, the piano mainly does a chord progression following the bass line if you listen to over here. Now, she also has songs in which the piano plays a chord progression along with a melody, like in the song Birthright. And there are songs that the piano mainly does the main lead of the song, like in the song Forsaken Dream. Literally almost every song from Nora En Pure has a piano, and that happens for 2 reasons. First, Nora's songs are really organic, and the piano is just one of the multiple organic sounds that she uses in her song. Second, it establishes the piano as part of her signature sound. We all know that we're gonna listen to a piano when we listen to a Nora En Pure's tracks, don't we? And that's how you construct your signature sound. Not necessarily it has to be a unique sound. Sometimes it can be a common sound that you can use over and over and over again until it becomes part of your signature sound. And that takes us to our next point, which is also part of her signature sound, which is being really organic with her sounds. Listen to the song called Spring Embers and listen how there's a lot of bird sounds in the middle of the break. Now listen in the song called Aquatic, how there's a lot of wave sounds in the middle of the break as well. In these 2 songs, you're gonna notice 2 things that Nora does to make her songs even more organic. First, she includes a lot of organic sounds like rain, waves, and birds, and that is because Nora herself is really connected with nature. If you look, for example, to her branding, her DJ sets, her label, and also her images on Instagram as well, all of them have a really strong connection with nature as a background. And that essentially just ties up everything together of who she is, her brand, and her songs as well, which powers even more her organic sounds as her signature sound in the songs. Second, Nora uses a lot of organic melodic instruments like strings, piano as we've just mentioned, and also some flutes, as you can listen in the song Birthright. And you can also hear some percussive melodic elements like xylophones, mallets, and handpans, as you can listen in the song called Fibonacci. And this helps Nora create a really strong brand connected to nature, not only connecting together her songs, her socials, her signature sound, which makes the Nora En Pure experience even more immersive with nature and also fun for her fans as well. But not all the sounds from Nora En Pure are really organic. She uses a lot of digital sounds as well, and one of them is my favorite, which is the low end and essentially the bass. One of the things I like the most about Nora En Pure is how the non-organic parts of her songs are essentially consisted of the bass lines of the songs, and sometimes they're really aggressive. Listen, for example, to the rolling bass sound of the song called Gratitude. And Nora also has some really crazy bass lines, like in the song called Indulgence. But the most iconic parts of Nora En Pure bass lines are her drone basses and her brass stabs. Listen, for example, to the club edit of her song called Us. These basses are really nice because they counterbalance the softness of the organic sounds in Nora En Pure's tracks. It gives a bit of strength and energy to a song that could be a little bit too soft for a club if it was fully organic. But listen, for example, to the song called Life on Hold and pay attention to the bass line. Did you notice anything unusual in the bass line? Listen again. The bass is mostly in stereo. And then you're gonna ask me, Leo, but can a bass be stereo? Yes, it can. You have to be careful when doing drone basses, but if you listen over here, most of her sub basses are in mono, and what is in stereo is the mid part of the bass. And there's no problem with that. But there's a few more elements that are a little bit more digital in Nora En Pure's tracks, and these are the main leads of the song, which I'm gonna cover in our fourth point in this video. Nora has different kinds of leads in her songs. If you listen, for example, to the song Forsaken Dream, she starts the song with the lead as a piano, as you can listen over here. But right after, the same lead with the same MIDI becomes a different synth. And if you go to drop 2, she adds an additional note to the same progression. By doing this, Nora is able to achieve two things that you can later implement to your tracks. First, she's using her signature sound as part of her lead. And second, she's introducing variation with changing the sound and also introducing a new note to the MIDI, which makes the song less repetitive and in the end more interesting. But that's not all about the leads that she does. If you listen, for example, to the song Life on Hold, as we've just listened, the main lead of the song is an ARP. And then you can ask me, Leo, but can an ARP be the main lead of the song? And yes, it can be. If you see it over here in the previous video that I posted about leads for melodic house, there are a bunch of songs that uses ARPs as the main leads of the songs, and that's something that you can do in your own songs to make them more interesting as well. But there's one other thing that I really like about Nora En Pure, which is how she uses vocals in her songs. Vocals always make your songs better when used right, and that is because vocals are the eldest instruments that we know, and we're pretty used to it. And then you can say to me, Leo, but vocals are really expensive. Sometimes you don't even need to use a full vocal to make a vocal track. Listen, for example, to the song Come With Me by Nora En Pure. It's one phrase looping over and over and over that you can do it even with your phone and applying some effects that you can see here, and it sounds amazing. Sometimes you don't even need a phrase to do this. Sometimes you can just chop a vocal and make a full melody with these chopped vocals, as you can listen in the song Do No More, that is Nora's latest release. And that essentially covers the whole necessity of a lead in the song because the vocal is already doing the job of the lead. Not only this, but when you have a vocal, essentially you need a lot less elements to make a compelling point. Listen, for example, to Us by Nora En Pure, but listen in the break over there.
Now look at us. This conversation still barely holding up.
She has some percussions, some pads, and some stabs, the bass, and essentially the shining star, the vocal. When you have a vocal, you don't need many elements because the vocal takes the spotlight of the song. And even if you put it in a drop, it's gonna take the spotlight of the song. Listen, for example, to the drop 1 of Us. You notice all the elements in there, but when you add a vocal with the same instruments, your mind instantly shifts to the vocal, and that makes you require less elements in the song. But sometimes you don't even need to use the vocal as the main spotlight element. Listen, for example, to the song Indulgence. Now the vocal is being used as a background element or as an ear candy to the song and not as a main element, and it works amazingly well as well to fill up the background and to add that human touch in the song as well. Now, which of these techniques are you going to apply next to your song? Let me know over here in the comment section, and if you want to learn more about melodic house, you can watch the video about bass lines on melodic house, or you can watch the video on Tin Liquor and 5 things that Tin Liquor does that are also really great. I hope you liked the video, and I hope to see you soon. Ciao.